Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com. I am so pleased to have you here today because we are going to be opening up the Eureka Crystal Beads collection for March 2024, and this happens to be in celebration of their 20 years in business. So huge congratulations to them. They definitely deserve to celebrate over there because they do such a great job. And not only is it a pleasure to collaborate with them, but also as a customer to shop on their site. So before we get into it, if you would like to pick up one of these collections, which will be around for a limited time, you can find the link right down below the video. It'll take you directly to this collection page. That's where you'll see all the contents listed out as well. And you get a discount by buying everything together as part of the collection, but of course you can shop these items individually as well. There also are some past collections still available, and some of which they have restocked, so I'll leave a link to the total collection page. But at this point, I am just so excited to get into this. Let's see what's inside our bright pink package. Isn't that a stunning inspiration picture? Looks like this theme is called Crystal Waters, very on point for their name, and I'm seeing lots of pink, which is also reminiscent of their logo. We have a really nice description to go along with our picture and theme. And then inside of this insert, this is where we see the contents, the listing of everything that Eureka has included in this package, and everything separated out. Seed beads, check glass, then we have our crystal sections and our findings. And as a reminder, I won't be going over the specific color names of everything in this video because those could change slightly over time. For example, if they decided to restock this or relaunch it at a later date. But you do have those SKU numbers off to the side, and you can type those right into Eureka's search bar, and that will return those items so you can check out more details about everything and see what the color names are specifically for what you received. Then, of course, as a reminder down there at the bottom, you do get free shipping on all orders over $39.99 if you are a customer located in the US. So that would, of course, cover one of these collections. And I love to mention that these make such great gifts for other fellow beading enthusiasts in your life. And they're also wonderful if you have a hard time putting color palettes together. They have done a lot of the work for you. And as we can see from the listing, they've included so many different types of things that it's easier to put together finished pieces directly from the contents. It's very inspiring. So right now I'm going to get organized. We're going to go through our list one at a time and take a look at everything up close. And we'll start out with the seed bead section. All right, let's start out with these two tubes. They're 2.5 inches long. One of them is containing the 8/0 size seed beads and the other is containing the 11/0s. They're both the Toho brand, which are a great quality seed bead, of course, from Japan. Super uniform and in this classic golden color. So it's a great start to our palette, getting some of these metallic neutrals. Next up, we have 2 more tubes of Toho size 11/0 round seed beads. And as we can see here, there is a really gorgeous magenta with sort of a silver lining, and then a beautiful teal that looks like it's got a opaque lining and some sort of a luster or a rainbow-like coating on the outside. So right away, you can get an idea of the palette that we are going to be taking a look at. Of course, we have those pops of magenta or bright pink, along with our gold and some teal. Our next tube of seed beads contains some of the Toho treasures, which are their version of the Miyuki Delicas. They are the cylinder shaped beads, which are excellent for making bezels. brick stitch and peyote since they all click into place so well and again are very uniform. Lastly, in our seed bead section, we have two more tubes. One of them is containing the Toho Demis. These are in the size 8-0. And then we also have a tube containing about 8.5 grams of Miyuki bugle beads in the size 3 mm. And both of these, of course, are in the turquoise color. Those round demis, you can think of those as like a regular round seed bead, but more narrow. A lot of fun to work with in bead weaving and sometimes just the right size for what you need. Those are a bit more shiny with a luster coating, and then we have the bugle beads that are a little bit more frosty and matte. And I love the fact that they are Miyuki. If you're going to work with bugle beads, those are one of the best brands to work with because they are made better overall. They're more consistent and also don't have quite as jagged of edges as some more cheaply made bugles, so it helps to protect the thread from breaking quite as often. If you are used to working with bugle beads from way back in the day, you'll know what I'm talking about. Up next, we can start out with our strand of 6 mm fire polish beads. This kicks off our Czech glass section, by the way. And they are gorgeous with that transparency and consistent faceting. I just love how the light passes through those and shines beautifully, showing off that teal color. And it's such a versatile shape to work with, but also something different than, say, just a straight round pearl, since they're a little bit more elongated and have the faceted surface. And then here are the other three items in the Czech glass section. These are also in tubes. All the way on the left, there is a tube of the super duos in the 2x5 mm size. We can see that those are a little bit of a deeper teal color, and they have a pearlescent shine, which is lovely. In the center is a tube of mini duos in this brush metallic gold, which goes really well with those golden colored seed beads and of course our whole palette. And then on the right is a tube of some 2-hole crescent beads in the metallic magenta or bright pink color. Those are a lot of fun for bead weaving and were one of my first 2-hole shapes that I worked with besides the super duos. And now we can kick off our Krakowski crystal section, and this is the Eureka brand of pearls and crystal beads and stones that are very comparable to other Czech glass versions of these. So they're really coated well, and you get a little bit more for your money if you get the Krakowski house brand. This strand of pearls contains 100 beads, and these are in the 4 mm size. I also really like that light gold color. And then these two beauties are the Krakowski teardrops in the 10x14 mm size. Such a beautiful shade and lots of sparkle. As you can see, that's why I'm moving them around so you can see the faceting and how much they shine. And they're in great shape as well. There's a look at the back of one of those. And this one starts out our Elite Crystal section. This is another Eureka House brand, and this one being very comparable to Preciosa or maybe even the Swarovski that we remember that we're not really able to get anymore. This fancy stone is the 18 mm size, and it is one of the most gorgeous combinations of turquoise green and blue. There's a little bit of like an electric blue flash that you get as you move them around. And the color changes just slightly from the center of the stone and out towards the edges. These also have a really great quality enamel located on the back. That brings us to the pack of 6 Elite Eureka Crystal Chatons in the 8 mm size. Again, they've got the gorgeous enamel backing, pointed back there, and also such a stunning shade of pink that gets a little bit more peach colored as you go toward the center very subtly. And they also appear to have an AB style coating, so you get the rainbow metallic flash shining back that is so stunning. These collections are a wonderful way to sample some of those Eureka House brands of crystals and beads too, because now we have a bag of the Elite Eureka Crystal bicones in the 4 mm size, and they've made up this very special mix to coordinate with the palette. So beautiful, consistently cut, shiny, great clarity. So definitely on par with high quality bicones, not the cheaper quality ones that we see a lot. The magenta or hot pink and teal appear to be in transparent, sparkly crystal varieties. That gold looks to have some areas on the bicones that have the opaque, metallic golden color, which reflects through the other side of the bead. We have one more package of beads to open up. This is the Chinese crystal rondelle strand in the 3 by 2 millimeter size with about 180 pieces included. We have a rich saturation of color, and it looks like these have a half and half style with a partial opaque metallic coating on the outside of the bead, again, that reflects through the other side, which is left transparent. And because these are the Chinese crystal, we have a lot here to work with. You get a lot for a cost typically when you pick these up. And I think the Chinese crystal works out really well when they're in the smaller sizes in particular, especially like these 3 by 2 millimeter rondelles. That brings us to our last section, the findings, and we start out with a set of two Tiara Cast brand honeybee charms. And they are dainty and sweet with lots of detail, so you can definitely tell what they are. There's, of course, one loop on the side, and they are double-sided, so no matter how they're flipping around, you get to see their little honeybee bodies. There are three other items that I have here listed, including the ear wires. They have the 2 millimeter ball detail, and we have two pairs of those. There's also the filigree box clasp that pinches open and then clicks back into place, and a handy set of 20 jump rings in the small 4 millimeter size and the 22 gauge wire. Like they've saved this stunner for last. This is, of course, rhinestone cup chain. It's a 3 millimeter size, and we have 1 foot included. The gold is so bright, reflective, and shiny. And then, of course, you have all those crystals dotted along in the coordinating fuchsia tone. This is such a happy and fun palette. It really makes me think of spring and summer beading projects. And whether you plan to create something directly from these contents or mix and match with your own stash, there's so much here you can play around with and be inspired by. I like to mention, especially with that rhinestone cup chain, if you're into bead embroidery, this can be a great collection for you to pick up for that reason too, not just bead weaving or other types of beading projects. And I can't wait to see what everyone starts making with these contents because I can tell there's going to be some really gorgeous jewelry in store. That wraps it up for the Crystal Waters collection, though. Again, happy 20 years to Eureka. I highly recommend their online store and would do so even way before I started collaborating with them. They also have tons of great projects if you check out their website and also their YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to their emails because every once in a while they will send out really helpful updates, the occasional discount code, and other fun things, keeping everyone in the loop. As a reminder, you can shop any of these products individually, and also they have tons of different colors of pretty much all of these things. But by buying one of these collections, you get a discount over the retail cost of everything. And the link to this collection is located right down below the video, as well as the link to all of their collections that are currently still available. As a reminder, by picking one up, you're not starting any type of subscription. You're welcome to pick up more than one of these, and keep in mind that they are typically available just for a limited time in limited quantities. So if you want to get your hands on one, you probably want to do that sooner rather than later. And other than that, I'd love to hear what you think about the collection, so feel free to leave a comment down below. It's always great to hear from you guys. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope to come back with a tutorial based on the materials that you see here, so stay tuned for that. Also, go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share it with your other beading friends. I'm so glad that you could come and unbox this with me, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Until next time, though, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and as always, happy beading!